How many smiles have you worn that did not belong to you? Who counted them for you, and what did they take in return? Keep that question nearby while we walk through one long day. I promise something simple will be waiting at the end. It will not be loud. It will be clear. Let us begin. Noon hangs over Chorus City like a careful hand. The plaza is full and neat and bright. People from Standard & Sons stand in rows. They wear small green pins on their coats. A screen above the square shows a number called the chorus score. The number says 94.2. It blinks in a steady rhythm that feels safe. Alex Park stands in the third row and looks at the ground. Alex is good at eye contact in mirrors and bad at it in crowds. Alex taps the pin and waits for the small green blink. The pin turns gray. A handler starts walking over with a soft smile. People feel the change before they see it. Breaths pause. Shoulders lift. The pledge music starts with a polite bell. The crowd lifts its voice in a practiced wave. Alex opens her mouth and a half beat of air comes out. The app notes a delay and pings in pockets. The screen blinks and drops to 93.9. Mara steps in next to Alex and nods once.
You are fine, and we are fine. And I will fix this after.
Alex nods and tries to match the row. She says the line that everyone knows. She says it in a flat voice. The wave ends and the crowd claps on cue. The number slides back up one notch. The city breathes again. I know you know that breath. The one that says, do not make this harder for anyone. The one that says, keep it smooth and keep it short. Standard & Sons loves smooth and short. The company runs on agreement, the way a bus runs on fuel. Not one person makes it so. Everyone makes it so a little. They have a quiet corner for small mistakes. The quiet corner is a bright room with soft chairs. It is never quiet. It is full of helpful sentences. It is full of forms that smile at you while they ask for a piece of you. After the pledge, Mara guides Alex inside.
Say you had a moment and you are grateful for the team. Name a value you love and promise a tiny improvement. It is voluntary, which is why we all do it.
Alex reads the page and feels the pinch in her throat. She signs and says the lines and lives to work another day. The screen in the plaza hums along and praises the wave. The city has other little rules that feel like tiny pillows. People clap at crosswalk poems. Neighbors text stars for kind trash bins. Coffee shops play the chimes on the hour. Everyone smiles because it is easier to smile than to explain a pause. You know that kind of smile. The kind that says, keep me inside the circle. The story moves fast now, because the pressure moves fast. Small tests come and go. Alex is asked to start the clap in a stand-up. She does it, and the room relaxes. Alex is asked to share a value in front of a board. She says honesty, and a few brows rise and fall. Alex brings a dish to a building potluck and forgets the list. A neighbor laughs and calls it bold. The score holds, and the elevator keeps working. The breath stays smooth for now. Dorsey is a vice president with a careful voice. He visits the floor and learns first names at a good speed.
Culture is our edge, and kindness is our speed. We move together, or we do not move at all.
People nod, because that sentence is very easy to nod at. Alex nods too, and looks down at the gray note still in her app. One night, Alex stays late to finish her report. She walks by a small office with a glass wall. Mara sits at a screen that shows a chart with neat lines. The chart title says Confession Velocity. The lines are high on pledge days. The lines drop on holidays. There is a note in the corner that says tax credit eligibility. Alex stops and watches her own face reflected in the glass. She sees a person who is good at not causing trouble. She sees a person who is tired of renting a face. Mara notices and lifts a hand in a small wave.
I do this to keep the punishment small. If we keep the music playing, nobody gets dragged.
The sentence lands and slides around. It sounds caring, and it also feels controlling. The next week, the pledge adds a new step. The step is called Remove a Distraction. The step is simple on paper and heavy in the throat.
Name the source of hesitation and make a plan to remove it.
People say caffeine, or doom scrolls, or late emails. The room claps for practical plans. Dorsey looks at Alex with a calm smile.
You can model this for the floor if you like.
Alex feels the push, like a finger on the back. She blames overthinking and promises to speak faster. The number blinks up, and the room exhales. That night, a letter from the building arrives. It says the floor will lose amenities if the shared spirit score lags. It asks for help to help you. A neighbor knocks and shifts from foot to foot.
Please keep up the good signs so the elevator schedule stays normal.
Alex says sure, because what else can she say at the door? She closes it and stands still and feels her heartbeat in her fingers. The city chimes and calls for a minute of silence for calm. The silence is full of people who do not want to be the reason the minute breaks. The quiet corner calls Alex the next day. The word voluntary appears again like a familiar sticker. The plan is called a restoration window. It is a stool and a camera and a warm lamp. It is a script with 3 lines and a blank for a name. The blank is for a negative influence. Alex looks at the blank and it looks back. Mr. Finch passes with a bucket and a mop.
You can tell the truth and keep it plain. You can let a line be a line and not a show.
Alex nods and does not write a name. She sits on the stool and says nothing. The camera blinks and captures a person who is not performing. The lamp warms a face that is learning its own shape. The hour ends and the lamp cools. The screen in the plaza waits for the next pledge. It wants to blink up. It wants to blink clean. You can feel the city wanting the neat thing. It is the day of the pledge again, and the sky is very clear. Rows form and shoes line up at careful angles. Dorsey steps to the mic with a gentle tone.
We will celebrate a small restoration today. We will model courage and growth for the board and for the city.
Alex walks up with a gray pin in her hand. She also holds a plain coat button from a coat that is older than the company. Her chest feels tight, but the thought in her head is simple. Her thought says, do not act. Her thought says, speak. Dorsey waits with a soft smile that never changes.
Please, share your reflections so we can move ahead as one.
Alex looks at the crowd and sees many rented faces. She sees fear dressed as agreement. She sees herself from last week and the week before.
I hesitated because I wanted to mean it.
The sentence is small and flat and true. It falls into the plaza like a coin on a table. The screen drops to 92.9. The ushers look at each other and do not move yet. Silence spreads, and it is not the scary kind. A cook at a cart laughs once and looks down at her own pin. She does not need a quote for this moment. She taps her pin off with her thumb. Someone else coughs and does the same. Mara watches, and her face changes fast.
You are making this harder than it needs to be.
Alex places the green pin on the podium. Alex lifts the plain button and closes it on her coat. The click is quiet and final. Dorsey tries to restart the chant with a fresh cue.
We are easy to work with, and we are proud to show it.
The wave does not stand. It wobbles and loses shape and then sits down. The number sits at 92.8 and then rests there. No siren sounds. No trap opens. People shift and blink and seem more present. Security walks Alex to the door without hands. The note the next day says, separation with gratitude. The elevator in the building skips for a week. Neighbors press their lips and say careful things in the hall. The city notices that more people copy the pause. It notices that nothing breaks when a person speaks in a plain way. It stops tying amenity schedules to pledge rates. It quietly trims the rules that asked for names. It keeps the chimes, but lowers the volume. Alex looks for work and cooks simple food and sleeps better. The quiet corner keeps its soft chairs and loses a few forms. Mara sends a short message one night.
I thought kindness meant compliance, and I was wrong. Thank you for the small sentence that showed me the door.
Mr. Finch wipes a rail in the lobby and nods at Alex.
The real lock was in your own choice the whole time. Most locks like that work the same way.
Alex smiles, and the smile belongs to her. It is a new feeling and also a very old one. Let us go back to the first question now. How many smiles have you worn that did not belong to you? Keep the ones that do, and let the others fall. That is the whole trick, and it is not magic. It is only a choice you can make when the room asks for a show. If you want a simple plan, use one true line when the pressure gets heavy. A plain sentence makes space to breathe. If you want another plan, share one pause and let it stand. That small pause teaches others to slow down too. The city will keep its boards and its bells. People will still like neat numbers and even rows. None of that is the enemy. The problem is a false face. The cure is the small sentence you can live with tomorrow. The story could end there and be done. But you might want to know what happened to a few people. Dorsey kept his job and changed a few words on a slide. He now says courage and harmony in one line. It tests well in meetings and does no harm on its own. Mara moved to a role with fewer charts and more doors. She lets a silence stand when it wants to stand. She has learned that silence is not a broken pledge. It is a person checking if a word fits. Mr. Finch retired 2 months later with a clean jacket and a slow smile. He likes early buses and parks with shade. He leaves things as he finds them, which is a kind of art. Alex works at a small shop now. She does numbers for a place that sells tools and tea. Customers come in and out and say real things in small doses. The button stays on the coat in winter. The green pin sits in a drawer and does not blink. The city is still a city and still wants neat lines. Now and then someone steps off the stage. Now and then someone says one true line and waits. When that happens, the air shifts in a good way. People see that nothing explodes. People see that they are still safe. Then other people try it. No marching song is needed for this. No hero label is needed for this. You only need your own face. You only need a sentence that belongs to you. The tale you heard is not a warning, as much as it is a practice. You can practice with something small today. You can practice with a yes that is a real yes. You can practice with a no that is soft and firm. You can practice by taking a breath before the clap. You can practice by not naming someone when a form asks you to. You can practice by asking what a number is for. Let the city keep its boards and bells. Let your mouth keep your name. Let your face keep your face. I am telling you this like a friend who wants you to get home. I am telling you this in a way you can use when the day gets tight. There is no magic here. There is only you and a small plain choice. The crowd will not love it at first. The crowd will also not break. People adjust fast to simple truth when they see it. They only need the first person to make a space for it. You can be that person sometimes, and then rest. You do not have to be that person every hour. It is enough to be that person when it matters to your sleep. That is the end of the road for today. Thank you for walking it with me. I owe you a clear lesson before we close. Here it is, in the shortest way I can say it. Conformity moves fast and loves noise. Freedom moves slow and uses one plain line. Keep one line that you can carry, and you will be fine. If the room asks for a show, you can choose a sentence instead. If a form asks for a name, you can leave it blank. If a bell asks for a clap, you can wait and check your pulse. That is all, and it is enough. I am glad you stayed with me to the last word. I hope it gave you something you can use tomorrow morning. I hope it lets you take one good breath before the next wave. I hope it helps you keep your own face. I will end with a few quick things for us as a channel. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. Please tap like if this story spoke to you. Please subscribe if you want more stories like this one. Please leave a comment with the one sentence you would keep for yourself. If you want to support this work, there is a QR code on the screen. There is also a link in the description for donations to the channel. The description also has links to other series in this project. They are different journeys, and I think you will like them. Thank you again for your time and your attention. This was Gold and Thorns, and I am grateful for you. I will see you in the next story, and I hope you bring a friend. Until then, keep your pin in a drawer and your button on your coat. Good night and take care.